Hey guys, for this video today, what I'm going to be doing is I will be doing my final weekly thoughts video of 2019. As for the next time I do this type of video will be when I officially launch the new the new segment that I'm planning on making a permanent feature on my channel every week, which is going to be called Rockzilla's Weekly Roundup. So that is going to most likely start either mid to late January. I might even start it right away in January. I haven't decided yet, but as soon as I launch it fully, I will let you guys know on my Discord server, and I will announce it there once I'm going to make this a permanent thing. So I want to quickly talk about the past 9 or 10 days since my last video. Truth is, you guys, I have been very, very busy with work. I have not been bothering with the channel because I number one, have not had time to really sit down and deal with my channel. And number two, lately I've been coming home from work and I've just been wanting to relax. Christmas time is the craziest time of year for me. I work in retail, so I hope that that's something that you guys understand. I think most of you do. I wish I had more time available, but I don't. So I've been having to make do with the time that I have. And on that front, though, this week I should have at least a couple of days off on top of today. So that's something that makes me really happy because at my work, you get paid for Christmas and Boxing Day because they're both stats, eh? So that means that I should have an extra day off this week, which I'm guaranteed Christmas off, but am I going to be sitting down and filming videos on Christmas? I know I did it a year ago, at least as far as I can remember, but am I going to do a Christmas video this year? To be honest, guys, I really don't know if I will, but we'll have to wait and see. All I know is that this month has been a very, very busy month for me, and in terms of having time to make videos, I haven't had as much time as I'm sure any of us, including myself, would like, but that's just the way it is for me. And on the little bits of off time that I've had, I've honestly been busy trying to get other things done for Christmas. So what I've done instead for the time being is I've decided that I'm going to sit down, I'm going to film this video, and then at least there is something for you guys to watch in the meantime. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into some of my weekly thoughts. I might not necessarily keep some of my thoughts to this past week. I don't know if I will, but I might go into some other stuff that I've seen throughout the past 2 or 3 weeks. But anyways, let's start with the NFL. One thing about these weekly thoughts videos that I've been really focusing on is NFL uniforms, because teams wear different combinations all the time, and I feel that the NFL has been a very, very easy discussion point. So let's go to the NFL. So first off, I've been hearing more and more and more that there's been teams wearing multiple different combinations and stuff with their uniforms with less restrictions than there has been in the past. Like, for example, I know that the Seattle Seahawks have worn an alternate uniform 4 times this season. Their most recent one being the one game against the Minnesota Vikings, where they decided to say, screw the color rush rules. We are going to wear our action green jerseys with our contrasting navy blue pants for the first time ever. Now, I hope that if the Seahawks wear that jersey again, which I hope they do, I hope that the next time they will wear it will be with their navy blue pants. However, I want to see contrasting neon green socks. If they did that, then I think that would be an excellent uniform to wear at least once a year as an alternate uniform. Now, as for the Baltimore Ravens, I believe that they have worn their black jerseys and uniforms at least, I think, 3 times now, and they've worn their color rush uniforms once. So I don't know if the alternate rules mean that a team can wear one alternate uniform 3 times and then the color rush once, or if it means that you can just wear an alternate uniform up to 3 times in a year. Well, clearly the Ravens and the Seahawks, in the Ravens case, I'm pretty sure I'm right, but if I'm wrong, please correct me. But in the Ravens case, once again, they're another team that has done an alternate uniform 4 times this season rather than just 3 times, like what the rules were changed to be a year ago. So it's been very interesting to see in the NFL how many teams are really changing things up with their uniforms. And in some cases, like the Ravens, it's actually been a good thing. I actually prefer their black jersey and uniform over the purple, even though I do like the purple. Something about the Ravens in black feels right to me. But anyways, moving on. The Carolina Panthers last Sunday against the Seahawks, they wore their silver pants and silver helmets with their black jerseys. I mean, I know they always wear their silver helmets, but they actually wore their black jersey with their silver pants and contrasting socks. And in my opinion, that is the best uniform combination that the Carolina Panthers have. Now, don't get me wrong. To be honest, I really like their light blue third jersey. I always have. But I don't know. I feel that over the past year or so, the idea of the Panthers wearing black as their main jersey at home, in my opinion, is the right thing. I actually have really felt that it's a really, really good uniform, a really good clean jersey. I like the simple design, and I've got to be honest, I really hope that Carolina does not decide at some point to get new uniforms, because for me, I've really grown to appreciate what Carolina has. Their uniforms, I think, are some of the most underrated and underappreciated uniforms in the NFL, which is a bit of a statement, I'm sure, coming from me. But I actually feel that their design is relatively traditional, and I really like the colors. The only thing about Carolina's uniforms that I don't care for is when they wear uniform combinations that throw their uniforms off. Like, for example, their light blue third jersey with black pants. So you've got a silver helmet, a blue jersey, and black pants. That throws the contrast off. And what I don't like about that is that it's mismatched. Where if the Panthers would wear their silver pants and silver helmets with their light blue third jersey and contrasting blue socks, for example, that to me would be a wonderful uniform. And when I saw the Panthers wearing their silver pants with their black jerseys against Seattle last week, I was very impressed. I was actually very, very impressed. So with Carolina's jerseys, all they have to do is wear proper uniform combinations, and their uniforms are, in my opinion, really, really good. Also, Carolina has switched over to the new Nike Vapor template this season, I believe. So their uniform, the jersey itself has been tweaked a bit so that the striping looks a little bit more proper, but the numbers on the shoulders are very, very small. So I don't know if they will fix that for next year, but I'm hoping that they will. But I know I've heard some talk in the past few years about at Carolina maybe at some point looking at new uniforms. I think it's just rumor, but I really hope that's all it remains as is rumors, because I think that Carolina's uniforms are really, really good. At least in my personal opinion. So moving on as well, where should I move on to? The Buffalo Bills. I'm really getting tired of them wearing monochrome blue. I really, really enjoy the Bills uniforms when they wear their blue ones with white pants and contrasting socks. And for a team that has decided to keep navy blue accents on their jerseys, even though I think that they could easily get rid of them and it would actually be a positive if they did, Buffalo's uniforms that they've gone to over the past 10 years are really, really quite nice. And if they would just wear proper contrasting elements on their uniforms, they're another team that can make their uniforms so much more elegant to the eyes of a football fan like myself. So there's another team that I think really needs to get it together with their uniforms because they've got great jerseys. It's just when, for example, they wear monochromatic royal blue or they wear the same color socks as their pants, that ruins it for me. So I hope that the Bills go back to the drawing board on that front and stop doing what they've been doing with their uniforms quite a bit this season. Now, speaking of their uniforms, Seattle has broken the color rush rule. So I really want to see the Buffalo Bills break the rule too and wear their white pants with their red jersey and red socks. If they did that, that would be one of the nicest alternate uniforms in the entire NFL as far as I'm concerned. I love that jersey. I just can't stand the whole red color rash uniform getup that the Bills have been doing. So I'm really hoping that the Bills are going to eventually come to their senses. And hopefully the NFL is going to start to finally allow teams to wear color rush jerseys with contrasting pants. Or at least contrasting socks. Imagine if the Giants did that with their throwbacks. Imagine if the Saints did that with their color rush jerseys. Now that would be awesome. Now, speaking of the Saints, clearly, in my opinion, the Saints have forgotten what a good Saints uniform looks like. I am so sick of their one-piece black tight yoga pants look, and I'm sick of their new white yoga pants look that they've been wearing this season. I guess the Saints think that because the fans love the color rush uniforms that they want to see the white yoga jumpsuit uniform on the road all the time now. Listen, the reason that Saints fans and football fans alike have really enjoyed the Saints color rush uniform is because the jerseys are gorgeous and the striping on the pants look terrific. What we want to see from the Saints is for them to go full-time retro again. At least a good lot of us, as far from what I've been reading. The Saints throwback uniforms are both equally gorgeous. The contrasting gold pants that they used to wear with those uniforms were equally gorgeous. Now, if the Saints could just wear gold socks with their color rush uniform, that could easily be one of the best uniforms in the entire NFL. I mean, personally, I'd prefer it if they went full-time retro and wore their the gold pants to go with those retro uniforms for both their home and away uniforms. Full-time. With contrasting white or black socks depending on which uniform they're wearing. But the Saints fans want to see the Saints in all white because that's the only way they can wear their color rush uniform, because they want to see the color rush uniform. I don't think most fans want to see the Saints in those white and black leotard uniforms anymore. I hope I'm right, because I know there are some fans that love all black. I mean, to each their own, but I think these leotard looks that the Saints have been wearing are garbage. They're pure garbage. And it's really unfortunate because I think that the Saints could easily have some of the best uniforms in the entire league, and it pisses me off. They haven't even been wearing their gold pants, their regular gold pants with either of their home or away uniforms. That's ridiculous. Even that small change would be a huge improvement for the Saints uniforms. I can't talk about the Saints enough, because even if they just wore their gold pants full time with both their home and away jerseys, they would have a much improved uniform for their home and away games overall, big time. And it's frustrating to watch. They look like a college football team gone wild right now, and it's not a compliment. It's a shame, really. Speaking of something that's a bit of a shame, in my opinion, is that I feel that the NFL has been allowing players to mismatch their uniforms far too much. I know this is rather picky coming from, I mean, a NFL uniform perspective, I'm sure, but I am tired of all of the players not wearing the same exact uniform. Some players will have different colored socks. So one person's socks might not be the same as another. I don't like that. Now, I'm not sure if this bothers most people. I'm sure it doesn't, but it annoys the hell out of me. If a uniform calls for, say, let's use the New England Patriots as an example. For a team with relatively modern uniforms, they actually know how to make a good looking uniform, and they understand how to use contrasting elements properly. So imagine this. You've got the Patriots players on the line of scrimmage, and they're wearing their home uniform, for example. You've got some players that are wearing the socks properly, and you've got some players that are wearing just plain white socks, or certain parts of the socks are way higher on their feet than other players. Sorry, I don't like that at all. That is annoying to me. That is a huge pet peeve. And I really do feel that the NFL needs to crack down on that. Another thing that I'm getting really tired of is teams wearing the pants and the socks as a one-piece unit. When a team wears contrasting socks that match the color of the jersey, it looks way better. Or if you've got a team wearing, say, a monochromatic uniform like the Saints Color Rush throwback uniform, having a contrasting sock to be the main color on the white jersey, which in the Saints' case is gold, works beautifully because it provides contrast. I'm tired of teams like, for example, the Seattle Seahawks, who wear the same socks as the pants. The socks need to be a contrasting color to make the uniforms work, in my opinion. Like, for example, you could have the Detroit Lions, for example, wearing their away uniform with their light blue pants and have light blue socks as well, and have it as a one-piece yoga pant look. I'm sick of that. They need to have contrasting socks. Where, say, in the Lions' case with their away uniform, you would make the socks white to separate the socks from the pants. That, in my opinion, provides contrast. That looks good. And honestly, it really is a pet peeve of mine when I see teams not using common sense with contrasting elements on their uniforms. It is not a good look. And I really do hope that the NFL cracks down on some of this crap. And here's another thing. I mean, if the NFL is being so lax on their uniform rules, why do we still have the one helmet rule? If you don't mind if a team wears an alternate uniform beyond your 3-game imposed limit that you put in last year, why not remove the one helmet rule and allow teams like the Philadelphia Eagles to wear a throwback uniform once a year? I mean, if you're letting teams wear alternate uniforms a little bit more, why not allow teams to wear a throwback uniform at least once a season? I mean, are you telling me that, for example, Patriots fans would not love to see those red Boston Patriots throwbacks again come back for at least one game a year? I mean, imagine if the Patriots could wear, say, their Color Rush uniform for 2 games a year, or even 3, and wear the throwbacks for 1 game. I think a lot of fans would be happy with that. Personally, I would prefer if they only wore the Color Rush uniform twice and had the throwback uniform on top of that. But I mean, if the NFL is going to be so damn relaxed on their rules so that some players are wearing different socks than other players, for example, or socks at different heights on their shins, for example, I mean, why do you have a one helmet rule preventing teams from wearing a throwback uniform? I mean, if you guys are so relaxed on your rules now, why aren't you allowing teams like the Eagles, like the Patriots, or even the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or even the Seattle Seahawks, or even the Denver Broncos to wear an actual genuine throwback uniform for, say, one game a year? I don't get it. But as I say that, folks, I mean, I know that Seattle has worn an alternate jersey an alternate jersey 4 times this season. Do I want to see them having 5 different uniform combinations for alternate looks? No. Do I want to see them in wolf gray twice, neon green twice, and a royal blue throwback once? No. What I want to see is at the most 4 games. Maybe wolf gray twice, action green once with proper contrasting navy blue pants and actual neon green socks next time they wear that uniform, and a throwback on top of that. I think that's more than enough. I don't want to see anything more than that. I think that's a point where it becomes too much and you have an NBA-like situation where there's no real consistency with uniforms. It's just everybody just wears what they want, and I don't want to see that. I like it when a team has 2 main uniforms and maybe 1 or 2 special alternate uniforms to wear on top of that, and maybe a throwback on top of all of that once in a while as well. But, my point is that, if teams are allowed to be so damn relaxed with their uniforms and just wear the stupidest of combinations, for example, why can't we at least be allowed to see teams wear throwback uniforms again with the removal of the one helmet rule? Now, on top of that, I've been saying this for about a good year now, but I'd really like to see Thursday night football become throwback Thursdays. I think it would be a real big sell in the NFL. Imagine the jersey sales from, say, I don't know, the Seattle Seahawks wearing a royal blue throwback, or the Dallas Cowboys wearing a 60s throwback, or maybe even, I believe in the 70s and the 80s, they might have had a royal blue jersey. I believe they did. Imagine them wearing a royal blue throwback jersey, if I'm remembering correctly. Uniforms like those would really sell. Even the Detroit Lions in the 1980s throwback, not royal blue, sorry. I believe they call their blue Honolulu blue. Correct me if I'm wrong. But imagine a blue 80s throwback for the Detroit Lions for 1 game a year. I think it would be really, really well loved by the fans. Even another example that I can think of off of the top of my head, that I think would be a real sell, a big sell to NFL fans would be, what's a really good example? Sorry guys, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. What about the Houston Texans possibly being allowed to wear a Houston Oilers throwback uniform? That would be a big sell. I think a lot of football fans would be on board for that. I think that if Nike produced some Houston Oilers replica jerseys for the market while the Texans were allowed to wear that uniform for 1 game, I think that that jersey would have a lot of sales for Nike. I really do. So overall, I just thought I'd vent on that. In terms of now, I will quickly move to the NHL. The Canucks' third jersey, I saw it again against Montreal. I'm sorry, it's just bad. I just hope that the Canucks stop wearing it and switch it out for the skate. The skate is far superior in every way. That third jersey for the Canucks is just too damn drab. Now, speaking of drab, I find that the Sharks' new stealth third jerseys are really drab and mediocre. I don't like them. But here's the thing. I mean, I love the logos that they've used. I love the stealth treatment of their retro shoulder logo and their main crest. I love the stealth treatment there. For me, here's the thing. If San Jose would have put their arm striping around the waist of that jersey, I actually think that that would be an excellent third jersey. But the way it is now, it's so plain that I find at times it's hard to even see the teal on the sleeves or on the arms of their jerseys. I mean, that's really unfortunate because I think that the idea is actually really, really cool. But in terms of the NHL, what else is there that I want to talk about? Is there really much? Actually, there is one more thing. The Pittsburgh Penguins. I was watching the Canucks Penguins game last night after I got home from work. And with Pittsburgh's jersey, you know what I noticed? I noticed their collar. Now, I was thinking about it last night, but I don't know why Pittsburgh hasn't made a small tweak to their collar to make their away jersey collar entirely black and their home jersey collar entirely Pittsburgh gold. It's a small tweak that I think would make a big difference. I mean, since we're stuck with those hideous addy crap collars, I mean, a team like Pittsburgh, I think, is a small tweak to their collars away from making their collars tolerable. I mean, I thought about it yesterday, and I actually think that a solid black collar on their away jersey and a solid yellow collar on their home jersey would look really, really good under the circumstances of having these hideous Adidas collars. So, you know, there's other teams like even the Vancouver Canucks who I really do wish they would have just went with full collars for their home and away jerseys. I think that would have been a big improvement as well. And it's really unfortunate that we've got teams like Pittsburgh and Vancouver and even Las Vegas that have half-finished collars. And imagine a solid black collar on the Golden Knights home jersey. I think that's enough black on the collar to give the jersey a little bit of extra contrast that I think would be a real improvement. So, I mean, if we're stuck with these stupid collars in the NHL, teams should at least be allowed to go to Adidas and say, hey, can you make a tweak to our uniform collar? And what frustrates me, though, is that with Chicago's situation with their stupid collars that they've thankfully now gotten rid of, you know, they actually appeared on the Adidas jersey catalog as a team getting new uniforms or changing their uniforms. Why should a collar change be that significant when the collars are so damn bad in the first place? But I guess a change is a change, so I can appreciate why it's there, but still, I mean, if they were changing the actual design of the jersey in some way or putting on new shoulder patches, then okay. But a collar tweak, I don't know why that was there. I mean, when Montreal changed their collars at the end of the Reebok Edge era to those lace-up collars that they had, there was never a report. Actually, no, that's not true. They were in the Reebok jersey catalog. I'm full of it. But as for the Columbus Blue Jackets, when they changed the shoulder patch on their home and away jerseys to the Cannon Roundel that they've got now, that was never in the Reebok jersey catalog. So, I don't know. I just think that I don't think it should be a big deal if a team like Pittsburgh, for example, wants to go to Adidas and say, look, your collar designs suck. Can you at least give us a collar design that actually looks a little bit better? But anyways, is there anything else I want to touch base on? Truth is, I'll let you guys in on a little secret that I think some of you already know about anyway, but I do have a collaboration video coming up with someone that I've never done a video or a collaboration video with before, and I'm looking forward to that one coming out. It's going to be cool to see a new video collaboration that I'm doing with somebody else for the first time, and I'm looking forward to that being available for everybody to see because I think it should be a decent video. It was really cool that I got asked to be a part of that, so I hope that that'll be an extra video that you guys will be able to enjoy for the Christmas holiday season. So speaking of Christmas, I can't guarantee I'll have any more videos between now and Christmas, but just in case I don't have any more videos made um, in time for Christmas, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope it's an excellent holiday season for you. And I hope that it's a time for you to be, whether you celebrate Christmas or not, to be with your families and friends. And on that note, guys, I've talked for just north of a half an hour now, longer than I had planned, but oh well. I'm just happy that I was able to sit down and make you guys a video before Christmas. So with that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. On that note, take care. And of course, as always, you guys, bye for now.